¿Quieres dibujar? ¿Quieres pintar? Aquí mientras yo hablo. ¿Quieres pintar aquí mientras yo hablo? Okay. Hi everyone, thank you for coming. I'm going to do a presentation about my work together with Alberto Valverde, who is working very hard right now in our workshop that will be in 1 hour more or less. We are very happy, very glad to be here at Piksel, well, we are going to present our previous work in order to contextualize what are you seeing here in the exhibition. Well, I did my background is in fine arts. I did my PhD in Spain, and during my PhD I focused about how we can enhance human capabilities by using technology. And during my PhD I developed this kind of stuff, this kind of wearable stuff or body-worn interfaces in order to put on the body and enhance our capabilities, but always thinking about our environment and our relationship with our environment. It's the case of environment dress, in which is our installation here. In this, through this dress, we can alert about the aggressments of the environment by using sensors. I mean, we developed this kind of futuristic wearable stuff, and we place some sensors to measure the environmental data, and we also place some GPS. And we develop a mobile app to say to the dress what is my mood in this case in each moment. For instance, if I'm in the middle of the streets and it's a very crowded street, and I say to the dress, I'm very angry right now, the dress learns that I don't like the crowded places, and I don't like this crowded sound, and the dress closes the helmet itself. And in this case, I have here a little screen to continue see what happens around. And on the other hand, and in parallel to this research about the body enhancement, I started with Alberto 15 years ago to think about how we can know more about the plants. And we get inspiration by Stefano Mancuso in Italy, who were researching about plant neuroscience. And we started to do something with Arduino, which is a platform, an open source platform to develop electronics, and many artists are using this platform. And we started to do something with Arduino in order to develop a sensor to measure something in plants. And by accident, by a mistake in the code, we developed the sensor that we call Chlorophylla 3.0. And this is a demonstration in which we are working with one plant. You can find the whole demonstration in our website. Alberto, in this case, is touching the cable and nothing happened. But when he moved the pot, for instance, the plant reacts. It means that we can adjust each plant to react, for instance, when you blow one leaf, but not when you touch the plant. Now the plant reacts. If you see the curve, it's up there. So we have been using this sensor in our artwork to try to translate this electrical activity in something that the public can understand. To try to understand this secret language of plants. And the first formalization we did with this sensor was Chlorophylla 3.0, a little garden in which we connect some plants to our sensors. And as you can see, this is one Arduino and one little speaker, and we translate the data from plants, in this case, into sounds. And from the beginning, we detected patterns, which is very interesting. We detected patterns in the behavior of the plants. For instance, the first time we set up this installation was in a greenhouse. at the man who was taking care of the plants said, there is a lot of, there is very hot here inside. Would you like me to water the plants and to decrease the temperature? And we said, yes, yes, go ahead. And he watered the plants. And when the temperature started to decrease, the plants started to change the sounds. And also the man who was taking care of the plants said, whoa, something happened. The plants changed the sound, and was really, really interesting. And we have been detecting this kind of patterns in all our work. And in some point, the two research lines, the one with about the wearables and the body enhancement, and the one with the plants, comes together. And it was in a work we developed in Umeå in Sweden, thanks to a residency in the Umeå University. We applied to the residency with this drawing. We wanted to put together our sensor because we think that we have a lot to learn from plants. And in some ways, plants are more sensitive than humans. So we wanted to attach this sensor and the plants to the human body. And we developed this residency. We spent 6 months in Sweden. And during 6 months, we developed this work. This is a wearable stuff. This is a kind of backpack in which I place the plant in the backpack. You will see here, it's a bit dark, but this is this backpack. And there are a kind of bowels that we can put in this back side of the backpack. And the bowels, these spheres have magnets. It means that I can put the plants in the backpack to go for a walk and to feel the environment through the plants. And when I come back to home, I can leave the plants in my wall again. So thanks to this wearable stuff, I can feel the patterns of the plant's behavior through changes in graphics in this kind of log, and through changes also in sounds through this little speaker on my chest, and also through changes in the colors of these LEDs that are in the backpack. During this residency, we developed 2 wearable interfaces that works in the same way but have different formalization. And in this case, we place a little backpack with water to drop the plants drop by drop. And here there is a part of a video that we did in which you can see how we connect the plants with the magnets into the backpack. For us, it's very important, this work, because it's the one in which have together these 2 research lines, and it's also the first work in which we talk with scientists. In Umeå, we got in contact with the Umeå Plant Science Center, that is part of the Umeå University. And we went to their laboratories and we did a demonstration with our sensors. And they said that all we said about our conclusions of our research with plants makes sense. But they have another tools to measure more or less the same. But yeah. Well, another work that I would like to present today is the Plant Sense. We developed this work thanks to a STARS grant from the European Commission. That means Science, Technology and the Arts. And it was an open call in which they invite artists to work with ongoing projects. And this, on this ongoing project that you can apply to with, we saw a very interesting project that was called Flora Robotica. That was an interdisciplinary project between a university in Lübeck in Germany and also in Copenhagen. So they were developing robots to grow up science thanks to artificial intelligence and to grow up also with plants in architecture, because they was focused in develop all this stuff to architecture. And we went to Copenhagen to spend 3 weeks with them and to develop more our idea, because we apply with the idea to develop a wearable to connect to the plants and to feel the plants in our body. But after our residency with them, we thought that something more about the wearable, something more about a part the wearable was needed, because when you develop a wearable and you make an exhibition, and I think that the knowledge is spread in the exhibitions, so the people, the public cannot wear the wearable. It's very difficult. When we exhibit this wearable stuff, we usually use a mannequin or a video demonstration or something like that. And in this case, we wanted the public to experience these plants. So in this case, we developed a soft interfaces. We wanted to develop a soft interfaces to allow the public to pick them in their hands and to feel the plants. And it's very interesting to mention that research of Flora Robotica team that we work with was very interesting, but from my point of view, from our point of view, was a bit anthropocentric, because they wanted to move the plants in architecture in the way that they wanted. So they had a very deep research about what kind of light, for instance, the plants follow the blue light and avoid the red one. So they know how to move the plants in architecture and move around one window or one door or whatever. So with this idea in mind, we thought, well, now we wanted to develop a big garden in which we can connect our wearable stuff, but all this garden will be all the plants, we control all the stuff that we develop in the garden. So we switch the idea and we give the control to the plants. So after these 3 weeks in Copenhagen with these people, we come back to Spain. During 6 months, we develop all our stuff to place in this garden. This is part of the process to develop the soft interfaces, the electronic inside these soft interfaces. We made the design in 3D model, and then we print all the stuff. We thought a lot in this installation how to manage with electronics to spend several months of exhibition. And it was the first time that we developed a soft interfaces. We wanted to do something soft because we wanted to emulate something alive, something like a live being in this garden. This is a soft interface. These are the electronics. This was the first time that we worked with glass and 3D printed, and now we also use this kind of materials here in the installation that we have here at Piksel. And we pay attention also in the aesthetics of the electronics. For instance, we paint of black this board to put all the sensors. And this is part of the work in progress of our wearable stuff. And this is the final result of our wearable stuff. This is a dress if you can wear this dress, you can feel vibrations and movements in your body according to the plant's reactions and electricity. And this is, we would like to call them cyber plants. And this is how our garden looks like. And as I mentioned, in these plants, there were 16 plants connected to sensors. And all the plants work like a big brain that give to the public a feedback through these mechanical plants, through the soft interfaces, and if you can wear through this wearable stuff. Let's see a short video. Now the sun is coming through the window. Where you can find in our website all the videos, and you can check afterwards if you want. Now I would like to talk about Beyond Human Perception, a work we developed during the pandemic, but that is linked with Norway, because in 2019 we were invited by Oslo Met to develop a short residency, 3 weeks residency, and we developed an experiment in which we asked the people to use this helmet to measure the electrical activity of the brain. Meanwhile, the people were touching one plant that were connected also with one sensor. And we were measuring the plant signal and the human brain signal. And we become really shocked, because when something happened in the human brain, also something happened in the plant electrical signal. But in this case, the human were looking at the curve of the plant. So we thought that maybe the human get surprised by this plant reaction and get also a surprise that means a curve in the human brain. So based on that, we developed a new experiment in which we wanted to know what happened if we put measure how plants and humans react to the same stimuli, and in this case we work with live and improvised music. So we developed our experiment, and we developed all the sensors and all the stuff that we need to develop all this thing, and we thought about the anesthesionography, because we developed this stuff during the lockdown, so we had a lot of time to think in the aesthetics of this stuff. And we did 3D printed all these things. To measure the human brain activity, we use an open source hardware that is called OpenBCI, but we developed our own helmet. We designed this helmet and played the open source sensors that looks like that. And when we were allowed to do little meetings, we organized a concert at Laboral Arts Center in Gijón, which is the town where we are based in Spain. And we work with 3 musicians that play improvised music. And it's very important that we the fact of work with improvised music, because we know that if we have the same rhythm, the plants get to know the rhythm, and they stop to react. It's the reason that we work with improvised music. And we developed 4 short concerts, 10 minutes concerts for humans and plants. We had connected 4 humans and 8 plants, and they were playing this improvised music. Before the concert, the humans went to a meditation, 10 minutes meditation session in order to have the open mind and focus on the music. And we record all the data. It was our backstage, in which we were recording the data from humans with 4 laptops and recording the data from plants with the SD cards into the sensors. And afterwards, we had a lot of post-production work, because we developed all this work without knowing if we will achieve data that allow us to make an artwork or not. So afterwards, we use mathematics because Alberto have a background in mathematics, and we use mathematics to work with data from plants and from humans because we had a very different data. The electrical vibrations from plants and the electrical vibrations from humans are very different, so we use the fast Fourier transform. That is a very common algorithm in computer science that allow us to compare data from humans and from plants. And let's see now a short video about, because the last formalization of this work is a video installation in which you can see the concert and you can see a visualization of how humans and plants feel the music. You can load the sound there?
Load the sound?
Yeah, up. No, okay, no worries. It's a bit dark. I go further to the next picture, maybe. Well, it's a bit dark, but here you can see how one plant and how one human can feel the music in the same moment. And it's very interesting to say that when we were working on this project, if we lost the name of the file, we cannot distinguish if this is a woman of a plant, a human or a plant. So this work has been exhibited in many places around Europe. This is at HEC, House of Electronic Arts in Basel in Switzerland. So now when we exhibit this work, we place the video installation together with part of this scenography we developed. And to this scenography, we add a little screen in order to allow the public to follow the live reactions of one of the plants, as we have here with all the plants in the garden. This is the sensor. Well, and now, last but not least, I would like to talk a bit about my experience here in Norway, because I lived during 2 years here in Norway because I've been doing postdoc at Oslo Metropolitan University in the framework of FELT, Futures of Living Technologies. And during my postdoc, I developed 2 main works. One of them is still ongoing. One is Unexpected Ecosystems, a work in which I wanted to know how soft machines and plants evolve together. So I developed these 3 greenhouses that were on display at Kunstnerhus in Oslo last year during Open Oslo. And I developed 3 greenhouses in order to isolate the plants as much as possible, because I don't want to measure the human interaction with plants. I just wanted to measure how plants evolve together with the machines, thanks to an artificial intelligence. To develop all this work, we use 3D printed machines, Arduino, and we develop all these parts of the greenhouses. This is the soft machines. Here there are LEDs, and this is silicon to make these soft interfaces. This is part of the work in progress. This is also soft. We made all the molds in 3D printed, and then we use silicon to develop this soft stuff. And there are the speakers. And here we have the machines together with the plants. Well, in this work, we are measuring these electrical signals from the plants thanks to our sensor, and we are feeding the machines with this electronic data. And this is a kind of loop, because the machines are fed by this data from plants, but the machines have movement, sound, and light. My hypothesis is like the plants has memory and the capacity to learn, so they can modify the behavior of the machines, and vice versa. So let's see a short video. Well, we would like to think in our works like an open works. It means in terms that I exhibit this work in Oslo and also in Madrid, but I think that is a bit difficult to the public to understand what is happening inside, because the most interesting part of this work is to see the data, to go through the data after the exhibition, and to see how the machine and the plants evolve together. So we are thinking in the next step, and for the next exhibition of this work, we are going to place a display, some screens to allow the public to follow these interactions between machines and plants. Well, and the other work I developed during my postdoc, and that is still ongoing, is other intelligences. Through this work, I wanted to know if plants wanted to communicate through the internet. I mean, I placed 25 plants around the world, and I give the plants the tool to communicate each other through the internet. I get inspiration about the nature, because it's known that in the nature the plants can communicate each other and even share nutrients and information. So why not through the internet if I develop the tools? And we developed this stuff in which we have the sensor to measure this electrical data, but also sensors to measure the environment around the plants, sensors that we are going to use today in our workshop. And we place also actuators to allow the plant to receive these signals from the others. You will see. Well, this is the sensors and actuators we use. And once again, we use Arduino, and we 3D printed all this white stuff. And once we had all this stuff ready, we developed a video tutorial, and we sent 25 sensors around the world to our friends in different countries. And this is how the sensor is attached with one of the plants. As I mentioned, to receive signals from other plants, we have these actuators, LEDs, pink light, and a gray spikes to move, and very soft spikes in order to not disturb the plant very much. And we choose just these three kinds of plants: Monstera, Peace Lily, and Swedish Ivy, just to know if the plants have preferences to communicate with the same species or not. Well, we connect the plants around the world in Norway, Spain, Mexico, Belgium, the UK, and Denmark. And we started to run our network of plants. It's very interesting to mention that when we thought about this project, we wanted to work with artificial intelligence because we thought that we thought that it was needed to develop this network of plants. But after speaking with Stefano Michele, who is a researcher in artificial intelligence in the computer science department at Oslo Metropolitan University, he said to me, "Are you sure that you need artificial intelligence? Because the plants are intelligent, they have the capacity to learn. Maybe you can try without." And I followed his tip, and we started to run our network of plants without this artificial intelligence. And what happened? At the beginning, it was very random. We had 25 plants connected, sending lights and movement, and nothing made sense. It was completely random. But after 3 weeks, we started to detect these patterns in the behavior of the plants, these patterns in the communication. And we started to see something that we, as humans, can call friendship between plants. For instance, one of the plants lost the internet in one of the houses. One people lost the internet for a while, and another plant started to call this plant once and again. Where are you? What's happened? Well, and the network works like that. We are measuring the electrical activity of the plants, and when something happens in this electrical activity, the plant receives a vibration in the roots, just to allow the plant to know that it's sending a message to another. And at the same time that receives this vibration, send a message to another plant in the network, and the other plant receives this message through lights or movement. And depending of this activity, the electrical activity, the duration and the frequency of this blinking or movement are different. So my hypothesis is that the plants recognize which plant in the network is sending a message, because, as I mentioned, each message are different. So now we thought this project to develop during 6 months, and now it's around 2.5 years that we have the network connected, because very amazing things are happening and we don't want it to disconnect. This is one of the visualizations we did. This is the result of 127 days of conversations between one plant in Mexico and another plant in Oslo. We need to start to reading here in the center, and as bigger is this bubble, it means that more more long was this message between plants. It means here at the beginning the plants get a lot of communication, here in the middle a bit less, and here a lot again. So the next step that we would love to develop with this project is to use an artificial intelligence now to figure out all these gigabytes that we have of data from plants. So I have all these visualizations of the conversation between plants. As you see here, these two plants get in love. And that's it. Thank you very much. Okay. If you have many questions, just ask.
sí.
Okay, here in the site specific we develop here to Piksel. We place the sensor that we have been talking about, chlorophylla 3.0, in this kind of glass thing to allow the people to take care of the plants and to water them. And we have here 12 plants connected to the sensors. And these plants are, through these plants, we are measuring the electrical activity of the plants, and we have a feedback for the public through sounds, movements, and also through controlling the IoT system of lights here in the room. So we have all the stuff and all the movements and sounds that you are feeling right now are making from the real plants. And we also have a control panel in which we can follow which plants are activating the different stuff that we have here connected. It's based on our previous work, but it's developed all new here to Piksel. And through this kind of installations, we wanted to know more about plants, to know. We always trying to figure out this secret language of plants, and it's the way that we found to try to make visible these things that we cannot see as a human. Thank you. Do you have one question? Yeah.
If you let them control their own lights, so should we not try? Do they get the money?
We never tried to let them to control the nutrients.
Okay.
Mm. But in that case, they are controlling the light, and I'm very interested about that, because they need to sleep, and they. In other exhibitions that we have set up indoors without natural light, we put a lot of carefully and attention in let the plants sleep during the night and let some hours without light. And here in summer, the plants have a lot of light, just a few hours without. And I'm very curious, what are they doing with the artificial light? When they learn how to switch on or change the color. Mm-hmm.
If there is no more questions, we can finish.
Okay.
Thank you very much, María.
Thank you.